YouTube. It's Lily G again. Sorry for my lighting in here. It's very dim and dark, but just roll with me if you can. Today's lesson will be Proverbs 5. The session is called Avoiding an Immoral Woman, or in case of vice versa, Avoiding an Immoral Man. This discussion questions that we had come up with was, what was God's purpose for designing sex? Why is it dangerous to have premarital sex? And what are the benefits of maintaining sexual purity until marriage and even after marriage? And how to avoid falling into sexual temptation. So those will be the main topics that these videos will be about. It will not all be in one whole YouTube session, but I will break it down. Just pray with me and work with me that I can do what God has planned for me to do here, and to give you the best knowledge of revelation that He had given me through Proverbs 5. So the translation that I'm going to be reading out of is the NLT, New Living Translation. This is what mine looks like. So Proverbs 5 is where we're going to start, and we will be jumping from different scriptures throughout this lesson. So we're going to go over the discussion question. What was God's purpose for designing sex? Why is it dangerous to have premarital sex? What are the benefits of maintaining sexual purity until marriage and after? And how to avoid falling into sexual sin or temptation. So first, we're going to start off reading the scripture and going over what a couple of words mean. The notes that I had taken down and the research that I had did behind the scripture. So we're going to start in Proverbs 5:3, and it says, "For the lips of a immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is as bitter as poison, as dangerous as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps lead to the grave, for she cares nothing about the path to life. She staggers down a crooked trail and doesn't realize it." And that's Proverbs 3:6. And what I've gotten out of that is, if you want to put the woman from then to now, would be like the most of the women that you see out there in the streets. Y'all know an immoral woman. Y'all know how she dresses promiscuous, just how you can tell her about how she talks, how she acts, how she walks, what she does. And the same thing with a man. You could tell a liar or a player from anybody. And that's a thing that God had put in here, if you want to go back to the first, was to pay attention to my wisdom, listen carefully to my wise counsel, and you will show discernment. And discernment, for those who don't know, this is the actual meaning, is good judgment, ability to judge well. Your lips will express what wisdom has taught. So what God is saying here is, you can tell her, for her mouth is smoother than oil. And it might sound all good and well, but at the end, her words lead you to death. Double-edged sword. And we'll go into Hebrews on what a double-edged sword is later on. And then from 5 to 11 it says, "In the end you will groan in anguish when diseases consume your body." And so when I thought of diseases, I was just like, so what do you mean? Like, you say diseases, but consume your body. And that's when I had gone into some research about the stuff that youth goes through, and the different ages and different levels of steps of the STDs, of the HIV, of the abortion rates, of pregnancies, and what this has meant. And what I had come up with was off Google, of course, And it says more than 10% of teens who say they were abstinent tested positive for sexually transmitted disease. And it's another one that says virginity pledge leaders become infected through other kinds of sexual activity since some were having oral sex or anal sex. So just because they thought sex was just in the vaginal area, they thought, well, if I have oral sex and anal sex, I'm cool. Like, I'm still a virgin. But, I mean, you may be a virgin down there, but you ain't a virgin everywhere else. So it takes wisdom and wanting to walk in purity to understand these things. It says, even virginity pledges were also likely to become pregnant as a teen before the age of 18. So those who sat and said, I may be a virgin, but then they became pregnant at the age of 18 because of the temptations that were around. It said 12 million STDs occur each year. 3 million are teenagers, and 13% are ages from 13 to 19. So this means 12 million people are infected with STDs each year, and 3 million are teenagers. So out of those 12, 3 million are teenagers, and their ages are 13 to 19 out of those 3 million. Chlamydia is found 20 to 40% among those outside of marriage. HPV is up to 15% are girls, and they have cervical cancer. Genital warts are 3%. Syphilis, highly contagious diseases, affects your brain, bones, spinal cord, heart, and reproductive system. And listen to this, you guys, on AIDS. AIDS, 2,953 cases among adolescents from 13 to 19, representing only 1% of the total in AIDS. So 2,953 from ages to 13 to 19 are being infected with AIDS, and that's only in the United States. And half of the infections through the U.S. are from ages 25 and under. So, as you can see, God is giving us the steps to how to live purely, how to live it as a lifestyle. Purity is not just well, I'm not having sex, so I'm cool. It's more as a lifestyle on what you watch every day, what you put your eyes on, what you hear, the music you listen to, the TV shows, the people you're around. All that stuff is a part of your lifestyle. And so pretty much it was just all in that part was just saying, how to discern those who are good for your life, how to discern if this is all just enticing words, is this just a gentleman fake, like, there's plenty of people out there who say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to get what you got. And so all he's exposing are just some of the signs that this woman or man could come to you as. Even though those are obvious, you still have to have the discernment of God to understand that those who are faking, you can off the bat know who they are. And then on from that, I had gone into purity, and just the things that we have learned since we're younger is, if you use a condom, if you wrap it up, everything's okay. But honestly, not that long ago, it had changed, because in our generation of 18 and younger, it has said 99.99% affected for pregnancies, but not STDs. But now all of a sudden, I don't know when it happened, but it said that it's STDs now. So, I mean, honestly, you just got to look deeper. I mean, a condom can only do so much for you, and you have to really be smart and think of, well, what if this condom breaks and this person has HIV? Then what if you got it? What if this person has an STD? For you men, what if this woman has HPV and she don't even know? And as a matter of fact, it has said 1 in 4 teen girls, which is 13 to 19, have an STD, and more than 53% of them don't know, which means for you men, if you put 4 women, no, let's say you put 5 women in a room, 1 out of them, or even, yeah, if you want to go 4, if you put 4 women in a room, 1 out of those 4 got an STD, and they don't even know. So how would you know? And if anything, they said 1 out of 19 men have AIDS. So if you sitting and chilling in a room with 19 men, 1 of them got them, how would you know if you got the wrong one? So you really got to be smart. And really the only way you can really truly protect yourself is just to stay abstinent. I mean, if you're doing it for God, oh my gosh, I commend you. But you doing, even if you're doing this for yourself, and this is something that God has put on your heart for you to keep your virginity or be born again virgin until marriage, God bless you. Like, God give you the wisdom for that, because that is something big. Because now these days, all you hear is, well, everybody has sex, so whatever. But no, it's not whatever, because I mean, everything that you sow, you will reap. So if you reap in some bad, some bad sex, some bad people, those consequences will come upon you. But the good thing is when you believing in God and you trust in God, and even though if you're having those, having trouble with these temptations or these thought processes or these battles, you know, you really got to sit back and say, is this person worth my life? Is this person worth my soul? And you really got to just sit back and think. Yes, you have those desires, and they are not bad. God put those there for a reason, but God said do not awaken love too soon, which means don't open that door for that enemy to come in and use you. Because people could sit there and just have sex like no other and be trying to fill up their satisfactions, but at the end of the day, is this benefiting you? Are you dying? Do you feel lost? Do you feel lonely? And if those match up to you and you just feel yourself trying to use drugs, trying to use alcohol, trying to use men, women, things, places, material things, and you still empty at the end of the day, truly, truly, wholeheartedly think about it. Does God have a place in your heart? And this is not no condemning message. This is not, I'm not here to judge nobody, but I'm really here to help my brothers and sisters to say, you know, you are loved. And even if you, even if this don't fit you, but you've come across of wanting to walk right, wanting to live right, how to be successful, and having a good marriage, having good relationships, good friendships, or even not having a relationship with God, you have come across the right video, because I'm praying that I help you walk through this purity and make it a lifestyle, not just a thing, not just a word, not just because you're in church and everybody's doing it so you feel like you got to, but you ain't living like that behind doors. I mean, honestly, we have all been there, we have all done that, but thank God for His mercy and His grace, and that His love endures forever. And I pray for those on this side, on the other side watching this video, that God will truly touch your heart, and that these words will place into your heart, helping you, softening your heart, and opening the eyes of your heart to see how God is trying to use you for His will, how God will call those unto His will because of your lifestyle, because we got to live by example. So, I mean, that was just scriptures 5:3 to 5:11, and on the next video we will go into more depth on Proverbs 5. I'm just trying to do these one by one. So God bless you. And like I said, if anybody have any questions or anybody feel like they need answers or a prayer request, leave your message down here, over here, and I will leave my email down there. So if you feel like, oh, this is too much or it might be too dumb, you know, just hit me up there, and I'll try my best to give you the best answer, and I will put your prayer request before God. And you know, honestly, I know you don't know me, and I might not know you, but I'm a living, walking testimony of God's goodness, of God's grace. And I just want to help you to understand that if God did it for me, He healed me from sexual sin, He will heal you in Jesus' name. So God bless you. Share this if you can. Watch it, and deuces. Love you. Bye.